Hi, student. Today we're going to talk about the chapter 2, okay, the double entry. So double entry is playing as a very important role when you learn your accounting records because double entry is like a business language or accounting language to make sure the reader understand what is going on or increase or decrease in their group of accounts. So we have already discussed about the 5 group of accounts in your chapter 1, which are the asset, liability, capital, income, and expenses. So from all of these 5 main group of accounts, they have interrelated to each other. For example, if today I wanted to buy a handphone, then my bank amount will reduce. So decrease in bank, increase with this new handphone. So handphone is asset, the money I keep it in the bank is asset as well. So there is a rules to show the double entries. So debit and credits, debits always show at your left hand side, credit always show at your debits, your right hand side. So from here, I need to refer back to this. So we are in this part, ledger. Ledger is start up with their double entry. Here do not have double entry. Journal is just a daily record what happened, and I put the put the debit and credits columns there to show journal to show what I'm going to do when I move to the ledger. So journal is the guide for me to the ledger double entry later. All right. Okay, so come back to this. So basically, double entry is a bookkeeping process to make a debit entry and a credit entry for each transactions for the 5 accounting, 5 group of accounts. So ledger is to maintain the day-to-day transaction in a separate ledger account. Each type of asset, expenses, liability, and included the liability include the capitals and income, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 group of account. So the day-to-day transaction are actually recorded in the books of the business by using the double entry system. All right. So how this system goes? So this is my normal T account. We call it T account, the layout of the ledger. So from this part to this part, wait. Okay. Here is my left hand side. The side that without my circle, it is my credit side. So debit and credit will always at their, okay, debit is at their left hand side, and whereas credit will always stay at right hand side. Okay, and the plus or minus increase or decrease is depends on the account names. So for instance, wait a moment. The debit side could be plus, could be minus as well. The plus and minus here indicate increase or decrease. As I said, the handphone example, if I asset increase, my debit side will be plus, my credit side will be minus. Okay, how do I know when it will be debit plus or minus or credit plus or minus? So there is a table that I prepare for my student, which is here. So I group it into 2 columns. So the first box is asset and liability, asset and expenses. When asset increase, they will always fall under debit side, which is your left hand side. The debit and credit is just indicate left or right in accounting language. So when there is increase, it will show under the debit side. If there is a decrease, it show under the credit side. For example, now I have handphone. So my handphone increased, so I debit my handphone. Handphone is asset. And my bank account will reduce. Bank also, handphone and bank also group under asset. I own it. What? So my bank will reduce. So I go to credit side of my bank. So how do I write? Debit handphone, credit bank. Let's say it's 1,000. Okay. So there's a direct example. So what if I pay expenses? What if I purchase goods but I haven't paid for the supplier? So liability increase due to the owe money to supplier. Okay, so we call it trade payable. I'm supposed to pay but I haven't paid. Okay, so now let's say my liability increase, I owe money to supplier, trade payable, and because of purchases increase. So how am I going to do for the double entry according to this table? Expenses, I use this double entry. If there's increase, then I put debit side. So debit my purchases and credit my liability for trade payable. Why? Because I owe people money now. Whatever you owe people money, then you must put credit side as plus. Okay, this one I will further details in my class. So these are basically the things I need to explain, and the T account also part of the importance things to do in our chapter 2. Like example, this question. 1st January, Stephen started a business bank account and invested 30,000 as capital. So what are the account that I need to highlight? Capital and then business bank account. So startup. Startup, there is a words to imply. This startup imply as a capital account. So my fund increase, my capital increase. And then as well as they already give you hints here. And then I put the money, 30,000, into my business bank account. So bank is asset. Asset increase now. So asset increase is refer back to the table. Asset is in the first group. So my debit side will be plus, credit side will be minus. My assets, this is my asset. Therefore, my plus will be here. Okay. I just follow the table only. And then minus will be the other side. So I have money now due to the details I write. Why suddenly my bank account have 30,000? Because the owner pump in the capitals. So double entry means that one side debit, the other side must be credit. But you need to think, what is the related account to credit? So now related is capitals. So capitals is part of the liability. So credit side is plus, debit side is minus. Therefore, you will see I put my credit side as plus. You see the difference or not? They cannot be same. Depends on the type of account. So if they are asset, my debit side will become plus. If they are liability, my debit side will become minus. All right. So now I have the capitals, have is plus side increase. So 30,000 in my capital funds account. So I need to tell people, why suddenly I have this? Because the owner bump in 30,000 in my bank and then for my company use. So therefore is debit bank, credit capitals. Okay, if I purchase goods, then this owner purchase the goods and then the bank pay, they pay check. check is equals to bank. All right. Pay purchase by check 5,000. So my journal entry will be like that. Debit purchases, credit, because purchases increase and the bank reduce. So my asset, this is my asset, reduce. Therefore, I go to the reduce side. And my purchases expenses increase. So I go to the increase side. All right. So this is part of the example, short example. I will further discuss with our exercise provided here. Okay. Thank you very much.